Have you ever noticed how some of the most extraordinary places on Earth are often the ones that the world overlooks? Not every remarkable destination is a bustling metropolis filled with towering skyscrapers. Not every unforgettable story begins in a famous capital city. Sometimes the greatest treasures are hidden in places where history whispers through ancient stones, where nature paints breathtaking landscapes every single morning, and where generations have quietly preserved traditions that continue to inspire millions. In the very heart of central Java, Indonesia, lies a city that has silently witnessed the rise and fall of kingdoms, the arrival of different civilizations, the birth of national heroes, and the dreams of countless generations. It is a city where sacred heritage meets military discipline, where fertile valleys embrace majestic volcanoes, and where every street carries stories waiting to be discovered. This city is Magelang. For many people around the world, hearing the name Magelang immediately brings one image to mind: the magnificent Borobudur temple. It is understandable why. Borobudur is not only the largest Buddhist temple ever built, it is also one of humanity's greatest architectural masterpieces, a monument that has survived more than 1,000 years while standing proudly against earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, changing dynasties, colonial occupations, and the relentless passage of time. Every sunrise that illuminates Borobudur reminds visitors that true greatness is never built overnight. It is created stone by stone, generation after generation, through vision, patience, and extraordinary craftsmanship. Millions of visitors travel from every corner of the globe simply to witness this incredible monument with their own eyes. They come seeking beauty, history, spirituality, or simply the unforgettable experience of watching the first rays of sunlight emerge behind layers of volcanic mountains. Yet, as extraordinary as Borobudur is, it tells only one chapter of Magelang's remarkable story. The real surprise begins when you look beyond the famous temple. Because Magelang is much more than a gateway to Borobudur. It is a city filled with hidden stories that rarely appear in international travel guides. A place where every neighborhood reflects centuries of cultural evolution. A region where agriculture, education, military excellence, religion, tourism, and local traditions have grown side by side, creating a unique identity unlike anywhere else in Indonesia. Magelang is proof that greatness does not always demand attention. Sometimes it quietly shapes the future while the world is looking somewhere else. One of the first things that makes Magelang truly unique is its remarkable geographical setting. Imagine standing in the middle of a valley surrounded by some of Indonesia's most iconic volcanoes. To the north rises the majestic Mount Merbabu. Nearby stands the legendary Mount Merapi, one of the world's most active volcanoes, and a constant reminder of nature's incredible power. To the west towers Mount Sumbing. To the northwest stands Mount Sindoro. Together, these magnificent mountains create an almost perfect natural fortress around the region. From above, Magelang appears as though it has been carefully cradled by nature itself. This extraordinary landscape provides more than breathtaking scenery. The surrounding volcanoes have enriched the soil with minerals for thousands of years, creating fertile farmland that supports countless communities. Rice fields stretch across the valleys like green carpets. Vegetable farms flourish in the cool mountain climate. Fruit orchards produce harvests that sustain local families and contribute to the regional economy. Every season, nature continues a cycle that has nourished civilizations for centuries. Morning mist gently blankets the countryside. Golden sunlight slowly reveals endless fields. Birdsong echoes across the valleys. Fresh mountain air carries the scent of earth and growing crops. It is a landscape that feels peaceful, yet profoundly alive. Long before modern roads connected cities across Java, this fertile environment attracted settlers who recognized its immense potential. Water was abundant, the land was productive, the climate was favorable. Communities flourished, trade expanded, culture developed, religious ideas spread. Over centuries, Magelang became more than just a place to live. It became a crossroads of civilization. This rich historical background explains why the region eventually became home to one of the greatest architectural achievements in human history. Borobudur was not built in isolation. It emerged from a sophisticated society that possessed advanced knowledge of engineering, astronomy, philosophy, mathematics, architecture, and spirituality. Constructed during the 8th and 9th centuries under the Sailendra dynasty, Borobudur reflects an astonishing level of human ingenuity. More than 2 million volcanic stone blocks were carefully assembled without modern machinery. Each stone was meticulously carved. Every level carried symbolic meaning. Thousands of relief panels narrated stories about morality, human existence, and the path toward enlightenment. Hundreds of Buddha statues were positioned with remarkable precision. Even today, architects, historians, archaeologists, and engineers continue studying Borobudur to better understand the incredible techniques used by its builders. How did ancient craftsmen transport millions of stones? How did they calculate structural stability without modern engineering software? How did they align the monument so harmoniously with its surrounding landscape? These questions continue to fascinate researchers around the world. But perhaps Borobudur's greatest achievement is not simply its size. Its greatest achievement is its message. Every ascending terrace represents a symbolic spiritual journey. Visitors begin at the lower levels, representing the ordinary world filled with desire and attachment. As they continue climbing, they gradually move toward wisdom, understanding, and inner peace. By the time they reach the highest terraces, the monument encourages contemplation rather than celebration. Instead of glorifying power or conquest, Borobudur celebrates human growth. It teaches that the greatest victory is not over others. It is over ignorance, fear, hatred, and selfishness. That timeless message continues to resonate more than 1,000 years after the first stone was placed. Yet despite Borobudur's worldwide fame, many travelers never realize that Magelang itself offers an equally fascinating journey beyond the temple complex. The city possesses an atmosphere unlike many other destinations in Indonesia. It feels organized without losing its warmth, busy without becoming overwhelming, modern while remaining deeply connected to its traditions. Tree-lined streets provide shade throughout much of the city. Public spaces invite people to gather. Local markets bustle with energy from sunrise until evening. Traditional foods are prepared using recipes passed down through generations. Small businesses thrive alongside educational institutions and government offices. Everyday life unfolds at a comfortable rhythm that reflects the character of Central Java itself. Visitors often notice something else almost immediately: the people. Hospitality is deeply rooted in Javanese culture, and Magelang reflects this beautifully. Smiles are offered sincerely, conversations begin naturally. Respect for guests remains an important cultural value. Whether speaking with street vendors, local artisans, teachers, students, or farmers, visitors frequently discover a genuine willingness to share stories about their hometown. That sense of community creates an experience that cannot be measured by tourist attractions alone, because sometimes the most memorable part of visiting a place is not what you see, it is how the people make you feel. And in Magelang, many travellers leave carrying memories that extend far beyond photographs. They remember kindness. They remember peaceful mornings. They remember conversations with strangers who quickly became friends. They remember watching sunlight slowly illuminate ancient temples while volcanoes stood silently in the distance. Those moments transform a vacation into something much more meaningful. They become memories that remain for a lifetime. And while many cities become known for a single landmark, Magelang has quietly built another remarkable identity over the decades. It has become one of Indonesia's most respected centres for military education, producing generations of officers who have dedicated their lives to serving the nation. This unique role has earned Magelang a prestigious nickname that reflects discipline, leadership, and national pride. Its reputation extends far beyond tourism, adding another extraordinary layer to the story of this remarkable city. The connection between Magelang and Indonesia's military tradition is a story that deserves to be explored in depth, because it reveals another side of the city that many international visitors never expect to discover. For decades, Magelang has carried a reputation unlike any other city in Indonesia. While many places are recognized for commerce, industry, or entertainment, Magelang has become synonymous with discipline, leadership, and service to the nation. It is proudly known as Indonesia's military city. This title is not merely symbolic. It reflects a long tradition of educating the men and women who will one day bear the responsibility of protecting one of the world's largest archipelagic nations. At the heart of this legacy stands the Indonesian Military Academy, an institution that has shaped generations of officers through rigorous academic education, physical endurance, ethical development, and unwavering discipline. Every year, thousands of talented young Indonesians dream of earning a place within its prestigious gates. The competition is extraordinary. Only a select number succeed. For those who are accepted, the journey ahead is anything but easy. Before sunrise, cadets begin their day. Long hours of physical training test their endurance. Academic studies challenge their intellect. Leadership exercises strengthen their decision-making. Military strategy develops their analytical thinking. Character education reinforces values such as integrity, courage, loyalty, and responsibility. Every challenge is carefully designed to prepare future officers for situations where lives may depend upon their judgment. Nothing is left to chance. Every lesson has a purpose. Every routine builds resilience. Every obstacle teaches perseverance. The academy represents more than military education. It represents the belief that leadership is earned through sacrifice rather than privilege. Visitors who happen to witness cadets marching in perfect synchronization often find themselves captivated by the remarkable precision. Hundreds of footsteps move as one. Commands echo with absolute clarity. Uniforms are immaculate. Every movement reflects countless hours of practice. The discipline displayed is not intended to impress spectators. It exists because consistency, teamwork, and trust become essential qualities in moments of crisis. Behind every synchronized march lies years of commitment. Behind every confident officer stands thousands of hours of preparation. This atmosphere has become woven into Magelang's identity. Discipline is visible not only inside military institutions, but also in the city's orderly rhythm. Clean streets, well-maintained public spaces, strong civic pride, communities that value cooperation. The influence extends far beyond military life. Magelang demonstrates how discipline and harmony can coexist with warmth and hospitality. The city never feels intimidating. Instead, it feels reassuring. Visitors often notice that that despite its important military role, Magelang remains remarkably peaceful. Children play in neighborhood parks, families gather at local cafes, cyclists enjoy quiet streets in the early morning, farmers continue tending fertile fields just outside the urban center. Traditional markets remain full of laughter and conversation. It is this balance that makes Magelang so fascinating. Strength exists alongside serenity. Preparation exists alongside peace. Modern institutions stand beside centuries-old traditions. The past and the future continue to shape each other every single day. Yet military excellence is only one chapter of Magelang's remarkable identity. Another nickname reveals an entirely different side of the city. Magelang is also celebrated as the city of a million flowers. At first glance, this title may sound poetic, but once visitors arrive, they quickly understand why. Throughout much of the city, colorful flowers bloom along roadsides, parks, gardens, public squares, and residential neighborhoods. Trees provide refreshing shade. Landscaped areas create welcoming public spaces. Seasonal blossoms transform ordinary streets into vibrant corridors of color. The city's commitment to greenery has earned admiration from both residents and visitors. Flowers are more than decoration. They symbolize the city's appreciation for beauty, balance, and environmental stewardship. Walking through Magelang often feels refreshing. Unlike densely populated urban centers where concrete dominates every view, Magelang offers countless reminders that nature still plays an important role in everyday life. Morning dew sparkles upon flower petals. Butterflies drift between blossoms. Gentle breezes carry the fragrance of blooming plants. Birds sing from leafy branches that line quiet streets. The atmosphere encourages people to slow down, to breathe deeply, to notice simple moments that are often overlooked elsewhere. This connection between people and nature reflects a broader philosophy found throughout Javanese culture. Harmony is not achieved by conquering nature. Harmony comes from living alongside it with respect. That philosophy has helped preserve much of the region's natural beauty despite ongoing development. The surrounding countryside reinforces this relationship even further. Travel only a short distance beyond the city, and the landscape transforms into rolling hills, rice terraces, vegetable farms, rivers, bamboo forests, and mountain viewpoints that appear almost untouched. Early mornings often begin with mist drifting slowly through valleys. As the sun rises higher, layers of green fields emerge beneath brilliant blue skies. The scenery changes with every season, yet its beauty remains constant. Photographers often describe Magelang as one of Indonesia's most rewarding destinations because every hour of the day presents a different mood. Sunrise paints the volcanoes in golden light. Midday reveals vibrant green landscapes. Late afternoon creates dramatic shadows across rice fields. Evening blankets the valleys beneath glowing orange skies. Nightfall reveals countless stars above the mountains whenever the weather is clear. Every moment feels cinematic. Nature here does not simply provide scenery, it tells stories. The volcanoes remind us of Earth's immense power. The fertile soil speaks of renewal after destruction. The rivers represent continuity across generations. The forests preserve ecosystems that have existed long before modern civilization. Life continues because nature continues. For centuries, local communities have understood this relationship. Agriculture remains one of the foundations of the regional economy. Farmers cultivate rice, vegetables, chili peppers, tobacco, fruits, and many other crops that support both local consumption and broader markets across Indonesia. Their work demands patience. Seeds require time. Rain cannot be rushed. Harvests depend upon seasons rather than schedules. This rhythm teaches lessons that modern society sometimes forgets. Not everything valuable arrives instantly. Some achievements require persistence. Some dreams require years of steady effort. Just like Borobudur itself, just like the officers trained within the military academy, just like the generations of families who have cared for this land. Magelang repeatedly reminds us that greatness grows slowly. It is built through consistency rather than shortcuts. Perhaps that is why so many people who visit Magelang leave feeling unexpectedly inspired. They arrive expecting to see a famous temple. Instead, they encounter an entire way of life, a community that values heritage without rejecting progress, a city that honors discipline without sacrificing compassion, a region where natural beauty continues to shape the character of its people. Yet the deeper one explores Magelang, the more fascinating stories begin to emerge. Beyond its flowers, volcanoes, and military traditions lies a cultural heritage filled with ancient rituals, vibrant festivals, unforgettable cuisine, and local wisdom that has survived through centuries of change. These traditions reveal the true soul of Magelang, a soul that cannot be captured by photographs alone, but must be experienced through the lives, customs, and enduring spirit of its people. Culture is often described as the soul of a place. Buildings may stand for centuries, roads may be rebuilt, governments may change, technology may transform the way people live. But culture is what gives a community its identity. It preserves memories, shapes values, and connects one generation to the next. In Magelang, culture is not locked away inside museums. It lives in everyday life. It can be heard in the gentle rhythm of the Javanese language spoken in homes and markets. It can be seen in traditional ceremonies that continue to bring entire communities together. It can be tasted in recipes that have been carefully preserved by families for generations. And it can be felt in the quiet respect that people show toward elders, neighbors, and guests. Hospitality is more than good manners here. It is a reflection of a philosophy that places harmony above conflict and community above individual ambition. Visitors often notice that conversations begin with warmth rather than urgency. People greet one another with genuine smiles. Shopkeepers take time to chat with customers. Neighbors help one another during celebrations, weddings, harvests, and times of hardship. These traditions may appear simple, but they reveal something increasingly rare in today's fast-moving world, a society that still values human connection. This spirit has helped Magelang preserve its identity even as Indonesia continues to modernize. Young people embrace technology while remaining connected to their cultural roots. Traditional arts continue to thrive alongside contemporary creativity. Ancient wisdom coexists with modern education. Rather than competing with each other, the past and the future move forward together. One of the most beautiful expressions of this cultural continuity can be found in the traditional ceremonies that still take place throughout the region. Many of these events celebrate gratitude. Gratitude for fertile land, gratitude for abundant harvests, gratitude for family, gratitude for peace. Communities gather to pray, share food, perform traditional music, and strengthen relationships that have endured for generations. These ceremonies remind everyone that prosperity is not measured only by wealth, it is also measured by unity. Another defining feature of Magelang is its artistic heritage. Across central Java, traditional performing arts have long served as a way to preserve history, teach moral values, and entertain audiences. Music produced by the enchanting sounds of the gamelan creates an atmosphere unlike anything else in the world. Its layered melodies seem to flow gently through the air, inviting listeners into a state of reflection. Traditional dance tells stories through graceful movement. Every gesture carries meaning. Every costume reflects centuries of artistic development. Wayang performances, Indonesia's world-renowned shadow puppetry tradition, continue to captivate audiences with epic tales of wisdom, courage, justice, and humanity. Although these stories originated hundreds of years ago, their lessons remain surprisingly relevant. They speak about integrity, responsibility, leadership, compassion, the struggle between selfishness and selflessness, the importance of making difficult choices with wisdom rather than emotion. These timeless themes continue to resonate because human nature has changed far less than technology. Magelang's cultural richness also extends into its culinary traditions. Food here is not simply nourishment, it is a celebration of local ingredients, family heritage, and regional identity. Many recipes have been passed down through generations without written instructions. Knowledge flows naturally from grandparents to parents and from parents to children. Fresh vegetables harvested from nearby farms arrive daily at traditional markets. Local spices provide distinctive flavors that reflect centuries of culinary evolution. Coconut, palm sugar, chilies, herbs, and aromatic seasonings combine to create dishes that are comforting, balanced, and deeply satisfying. One of the region's most beloved specialities is kupat tahu Magelang. At first glance, it appears wonderfully simple. Pieces of rice cake, fried tofu, bean sprouts, cabbage, and crispy crackers are brought together beneath a rich peanut sauce infused with garlic, palm sugar, and selected spices. Yet its simplicity is exactly what makes it unforgettable. Every ingredient complements the others. Every bite offers layers of texture and flavor. It is a dish that represents the philosophy of balance found throughout Javanese culture. Another local favorite is getuk trio, a colorful cassava-based delicacy that has become one of Magelang's signature souvenirs. Made from steamed cassava, blended with sugar, and shaped into vibrant layers, it demonstrates how humble ingredients can be transformed into something both beautiful and delicious. For generations, visitors have carried boxes of getuk home as gifts, allowing the taste of Magelang to travel far beyond the city's borders. Traditional markets remain among the best places to experience this culinary heritage. Unlike supermarkets where shopping often feels hurried, local markets offer something much richer. The aroma of freshly prepared food fills the air. Farmers proudly display vegetables harvested only hours earlier. Fruit vendors arrange colorful produce in neat rows. The sounds of bargaining, laughter, and friendly conversation create an atmosphere full of life. These markets are more than commercial centers. They are gathering places. They are where relationships are strengthened, stories are exchanged, and local traditions continue to flourish. Walking through one of these markets offers a glimpse into the heartbeat of everyday life. It reminds visitors that authentic travel is not only about famous landmarks, it is also about ordinary moments that reveal extraordinary cultures. Magelang's strategic location has also made it an important crossroads throughout history. Situated between major regions of central Java, it has long served as a meeting point for trade, education, government, religion, and cultural exchange. Merchants once traveled these routes carrying spices, textiles, ceramics, and agricultural products. Religious scholars shared philosophical ideas, artists introduced new techniques, communities exchanged traditions while maintaining their own identities. This constant exchange enriched the region without erasing its uniqueness. Perhaps that explains why Magelang feels so welcoming to newcomers. For centuries, it has embraced visitors from different backgrounds while remaining deeply rooted in its own heritage. History is never far away here. Colonial-era buildings still stand in parts of the city, quietly reflecting another chapter of Indonesia's complex past. These structures remind visitors that Magelang witnessed periods of foreign rule, political transformation, and the long struggle toward independence. Each generation faced its own challenges. Each left behind lessons for the next. The resilience of the people allowed the city not only to survive, but to continue growing. That resilience remains visible today. Magelang continues to evolve while protecting the qualities that make it special. It invests in education, it strengthens tourism, it supports agriculture, it encourages environmental conservation, it celebrates cultural heritage. Rather than choosing between development and preservation, the city strives to achieve both. It is a delicate balance, but one that Magelang continues to pursue with remarkable determination. Perhaps that is why so many people describe Magelang as a place that feels timeless, not because it has resisted change, but because it has learned how to grow without forgetting where it came from. And beyond the city itself lies another world waiting to be explored, a world of mist-covered mountains, hidden waterfalls, panoramic viewpoints, sacred temples, and breathtaking natural wonders that reveal why the entire Magelang region has become one of Indonesia's most captivating destinations for travelers seeking experiences that go far beyond the ordinary. Step beyond the streets of the city and an entirely different side of Magelang begins to unfold. Here, the landscape transforms into one of the most breathtaking natural panoramas in Indonesia. Rolling hills stretch toward the horizon. Emerald rice terraces follow the gentle contours of the land. Crystal clear rivers weave through fertile valleys. Dense forests shelter countless species of birds and wildlife. Towering volcanoes dominate the skyline with an almost mythical presence. Every direction offers a view worthy of a painting. This remarkable scenery is no accident. For thousands of years, volcanic activity has shaped the region, leaving behind incredibly fertile soil that supports lush vegetation and abundant agriculture. What once appeared destructive became the foundation of life itself. It is one of nature's greatest paradoxes. From fire came fertility, from eruption came renewal, from devastation came opportunity. That cycle mirrors the story of humanity. Some of our greatest strengths are often born from our greatest struggles. Perhaps that is why Magelang feels so deeply inspiring. Its landscape constantly reminds us that endings can become beginnings, that hardship can create resilience, that beauty can emerge from forces beyond imagination. Among the region's most iconic natural landmarks is Mount Merapi. Known as one of the most active volcanoes on Earth, Merapi commands both respect and admiration. Its eruptions have shaped history, altered landscapes, and tested the resilience of nearby communities for centuries. Yet despite its immense power, life continues around its slopes. Villages rebuild, farmers return to their fields, children go back to school. Communities adapt with remarkable courage. The relationship between the people and the mountain is built upon understanding rather than fear. Residents know that nature cannot be controlled. Instead, it must be respected. That wisdom has been passed down through generations. Modern monitoring systems now work alongside traditional knowledge, helping communities prepare for volcanic activity while preserving the deep cultural connection they have with the mountain. Nearby, Mount Merbabu offers a different experience. Unlike its more active neighbor, Merbabu attracts hikers seeking sweeping panoramas, cool mountain air, and unforgettable sunrises. As dawn breaks above the clouds, the surrounding volcanoes gradually emerge from the morning mist. The first golden rays illuminate valleys below, while distant peaks glow against the changing sky. For many hikers, reaching the summit is not simply about conquering a mountain. It is about discovering perspective. Standing above the clouds has a way of making everyday worries seem remarkably small. It reminds us how vast the world truly is, and how fortunate we are to witness such extraordinary beauty. Another destination that has captured the imagination of travelers is Puntuk Setumbu. Long before sunrise, visitors quietly gather on this hilltop viewpoint. The darkness slowly gives way to soft shades of blue. Birds begin their morning songs. A gentle mist blankets the forests below. Then, almost magically, the sun rises. Its warm light gradually reveals the silhouette of Borobudur temple, emerging through layers of mist, framed by distant volcanoes. It is a moment that feels almost unreal. Photographs have made this viewpoint famous across the world, yet no camera can fully capture the feeling of standing there in person. The cool morning air, the silence shared among strangers, the anticipation as daylight slowly transforms the landscape. It becomes more than sightseeing, it becomes an experience of gratitude. Not far away, visitors can also discover hidden waterfalls tucked inside lush forests. Water tumbles over ancient volcanic rocks before flowing into clear pools surrounded by tropical vegetation. The journey to reach these waterfalls often involves walking through village paths, crossing bamboo bridges, and passing small farms where local residents continue traditions that have existed for generations. These journeys remind travelers that some of life's greatest rewards require a little extra effort. The destination becomes even more meaningful because of the journey itself. Adventure seekers are equally drawn to the rivers that flow through the Magelang region. Whitewater rafting has become one of the area's most exciting outdoor activities. As rafts navigate winding rivers, surrounded by towering cliffs and dense greenery, participants experience both the thrill of adventure and the serenity of untouched nature. Laughter echoes across the water. Splashing waves cool the tropical air. Moments of excitement are followed by stretches of peaceful drifting beneath towering trees. It is an experience that combines adrenaline with appreciation for the natural world. Cycling has also become increasingly popular. Quiet rural roads connect villages, rice fields, plantations, and scenic viewpoints. Each turn reveals another breathtaking landscape. Friendly villagers wave as cyclists pass by. Children smile from the roadside. Farmers continue harvesting crops beneath the watchful gaze of distant volcanoes. These encounters create memories that no itinerary can fully predict. They happen naturally, authentically, because life in Magelang continues at its own rhythm. For photographers, few destinations offer as many opportunities. Morning fog creates dreamlike compositions. Afternoon sunlight highlights endless green fields. Traditional villages provide glimpses into daily life. Ancient temples stand as timeless reminders of extraordinary civilizations. At night, if the skies remain clear, countless stars appear above the volcanic peaks, creating breathtaking scenes rarely visible in heavily urbanized regions. Every hour tells a different visual story. Every season offers a new perspective. Yet perhaps the greatest treasure of Magelang is not any single landmark. It is the harmony between all of them. Nature, history, culture, education, agriculture, spirituality, community. Each element strengthens the others. None exists in isolation. Borobudur would not possess the same magic without its surrounding mountains. The fertile valleys would not exist without ancient volcanic activity. The city's peaceful atmosphere would not feel the same without the warmth of its people. The military academy would not carry the same significance without the values of discipline and service that define the region. Together, they create an identity that cannot be replicated anywhere else. In an age where many destinations compete to become bigger, louder, and more commercial, Magelang offers something increasingly valuable: authenticity. It does not ask visitors to rush from one attraction to another. Instead, it invites them to slow down, to watch the sunrise, to listen to birdsong, to explore centuries of history, to enjoy conversations with local residents, to appreciate meals prepared with care, to walk through ancient temples with a sense of wonder, to remember that travel is not only about seeing new places, it is also about seeing ourselves differently. Perhaps that is the true gift of Magelang. It reminds us that the greatest journeys are not measured by distance, they are measured by transformation. People may arrive searching for the world's largest Buddhist temple, but many leave carrying something far more valuable: a renewed appreciation for history, a deeper respect for nature, a greater understanding of resilience, and an unforgettable reminder that some of the most extraordinary places on earth are still waiting quietly for the world to truly discover them. Because Magelang is not simply a destination, it is a living story. A story written by volcanoes, carved into ancient stone, nurtured by fertile land, protected by generations of dedicated people, and enriched by a culture that continues to thrive with grace and dignity. And once you experience that story, a part of it stays with you forever. But the story of Magelang does not end with its breathtaking landscapes, its ancient temples, or its rich cultural heritage. In many ways, that is only the beginning. Because what truly defines a place is not simply its history. It is the people who continue writing the next chapter every single day. Every morning, as the first rays of sunlight spill across the valleys, life begins long before most visitors wake up. Farmers make their way to the fields, carrying tools that have become extensions of their hands after years of experience. The cool morning air is filled with the sounds of birds, flowing water, and distant calls from neighboring villages. Fresh vegetables are carefully harvested before the tropical sun climbs too high into the sky. Bundles of leafy greens, baskets of chilies, tomatoes, cabbages, carrots, and countless other crops begin their journey from fertile farms to traditional markets across central Java. For these farming families, agriculture is far more than an occupation. It is a legacy. Many have cultivated the same land for generations. Parents teach their children not only how to plant and harvest, but also how to respect the soil that has sustained their ancestors for centuries. They understand something that modern society often forgets. The land is not simply something to be used, it is something to be cared for. Healthy soil today means food for tomorrow. Clean rivers today mean life for future generations. This respect for nature has helped preserve the remarkable beauty that continues to attract visitors from around the world. Education has also become one of Magelang's greatest strengths. Schools, universities, vocational institutions and training centres continue preparing young Indonesians for an increasingly competitive future. Students fill classrooms with dreams that extend far beyond the city itself. Some aspire to become engineers, others hope to become teachers, doctors, entrepreneurs, artists, scientists, or public servants. Each carries ambitions shaped by both tradition and opportunity. Parents make enormous sacrifices to support their children's education. Many believe that knowledge is the greatest investment they can ever provide. It is an investment that cannot be stolen. It cannot be destroyed by disaster. It grows stronger every time it is shared. That belief has become deeply embedded within Indonesian society, and Magelang reflects it beautifully. The city is also becoming increasingly attractive to travellers seeking experiences that go beyond conventional tourism. Around the world, more people are searching for meaningful journeys rather than crowded attractions. They want authenticity. They want genuine human connections. They want to understand local cultures instead of merely taking photographs. Magelang offers exactly that. Visitors can spend the morning exploring Borobudur before joining local communities to learn traditional crafts. They can cycle through peaceful villages where every smile feels sincere. They can visit family-owned farms and discover how local produce is cultivated. They can participate in cultural workshops, taste authentic regional cuisine, and hear stories directly from the people who call this remarkable place home. This growing interest in community-based tourism has created new opportunities for local residents. Small guest houses welcome international visitors. Family restaurants introduce regional specialities. Local guides share historical knowledge passed down through generations. Artisans preserve traditional craftsmanship while earning sustainable livelihoods. Instead of replacing local culture, tourism increasingly supports its preservation. This balance is essential. When managed responsibly, tourism becomes more than an economic activity. It becomes a bridge between cultures. It allows visitors to gain deeper understanding while encouraging local communities to take pride in protecting their heritage. Environmental conservation has become another important priority. As awareness grows about climate change and biodiversity loss, communities throughout the Magelang region recognize the importance of protecting the natural resources that define their home. Tree planting initiatives help restore degraded areas. River conservation programs encourage cleaner waterways. Waste management campaigns educate younger generations about environmental responsibility. Farmers increasingly explore sustainable agricultural practices that protect soil fertility while maintaining productivity. These efforts may appear modest when viewed individually, yet together they create meaningful change. History has shown repeatedly that lasting progress is rarely achieved through one extraordinary action. It is achieved through millions of ordinary actions performed consistently over time. One tree planted today, one river cleaned tomorrow, one child educated, one tradition preserved, one community strengthened. Each contribution becomes part of something much larger. Magelang itself is living proof of this principle. Borobudur was built stone by stone. The city's agricultural prosperity grew season by season. Its reputation as Indonesia's military city developed generation after generation. Its cultural heritage survived because countless families chose to preserve it. Nothing happened overnight. Everything required patience. That lesson feels especially relevant in today's world. Modern life often encourages instant results, instant communication, instant entertainment, instant success. Yet the greatest achievements in history have almost always required time. Forests need decades to mature. Civilizations require centuries to evolve. Masterpieces demand years of dedication. Character is built through countless daily choices. Magelang quietly teaches this lesson without ever needing to say a word. Simply observing the city is enough. Watching farmers care for their crops. Watching artisans perfect their crafts. Watching students pursue education. Watching communities preserve traditions. Watching ancient temples endure through the centuries. All of it points toward the same truth. Greatness is never accidental. It is cultivated. Perhaps this is why so many visitors leave with more than beautiful photographs. They leave inspired, not because they witnessed something impossible, but because they witnessed what becomes possible when people remain committed to values that endure across generations. Respect, discipline, perseverance, humility, gratitude, community. These qualities may not dominate social media headlines. They may never become viral trends, yet they are the very qualities that build civilizations capable of lasting for centuries. And Magelang stands as living evidence of that enduring truth. In a rapidly changing world where so much competes for our attention, Magelang gently reminds us to focus on what truly matters, to value knowledge over noise, to choose purpose over popularity, to protect heritage while embracing innovation, to appreciate nature before it disappears, to honour the past while building a better future. These are not merely lessons for one city, they are lessons for humanity, because every community, regardless of where it exists, faces the same question. What kind of legacy will we leave behind for those who come after us? Magelang has been answering that question for more than 1,000 years. Its answer can be seen in ancient stone, fertile fields, disciplined institutions, thriving traditions, and the quiet determination of ordinary people who continue shaping an extraordinary place. And perhaps that is the greatest reason why Magelang deserves to be remembered. Not simply because it is home to the world's largest Buddhist temple, not simply because it is surrounded by magnificent volcanoes, not simply because it is known as the military city or the city of a million flowers, but because it demonstrates something timeless. That true greatness is never measured only by what a place builds. It is measured by the values it inspires in everyone who has the privilege to experience it. As the journey through Magelang draws closer to its end, one question naturally begins to emerge. Why does this place leave such a lasting impression on so many people? Why do travellers who have explored some of the world's most famous destinations often speak about Magelang with such genuine affection? The answer cannot be found in a single monument, nor can it be explained by beautiful scenery alone. Its true power lies in the way everything comes together: history and hope, nature and civilization, tradition and innovation, faith and knowledge, strength and compassion. Few places manage to balance these qualities so naturally. Magelang does. Walk through the region at sunrise and you witness a landscape that has remained remarkably timeless. Ancient temples stand quietly beneath skies that have watched over countless generations. Farmers continue tending fields much as their ancestors did centuries ago. The scent of fresh earth rises after the morning dew. Birds soar above rice paddies that shimmer like mirrors beneath the first light of day. It is a scene that reminds us how little humanity truly needs in order to feel connected with the world: peace, purpose, and a place to belong. As the day unfolds, Another side of Magelang comes alive. Students fill classrooms with ambition. Entrepreneurs open their businesses. Craftsmen patiently shape works of art with practiced hands. Market vendors greet familiar customers with warm smiles. Families gather for meals prepared from ingredients harvested only hours earlier. Everyday life continues with quiet confidence. There is no need to rush, no need to compete for attention. Life here follows a rhythm that feels deeply human. Perhaps that is what so many visitors find refreshing. In a world dominated by endless notifications, crowded schedules, and constant distractions, Magelang offers something increasingly precious: the opportunity to slow down, to notice details, to appreciate silence, to reconnect with values that are often overlooked. Travel has the power to change us, not because it allows us to escape our lives, but because it allows us to see life through a different perspective. Magelang excels at creating those moments of reflection. Standing atop Borobudur at sunrise, it becomes impossible not to think about the countless generations who stood in the same place before us. Walking through quiet villages, we begin to appreciate the dignity of simple living. Watching farmers work from dawn until dusk reminds us that every meal represents hours of dedication that most people never witness. Observing cadets train with unwavering discipline reminds us that excellence demands sacrifice long before success becomes visible. These experiences stay with us because they reveal universal truths. Every civilization is built by ordinary people performing extraordinary acts of commitment. Every masterpiece begins with a single stone. Every harvest begins with a single seed. Every great leader begins as a student. Every meaningful journey begins with a single step. Magelang embodies these truths in ways that feel authentic rather than symbolic. Its story is written not only in history books, but also in the daily lives of its people. There is another reason why Magelang deserves global recognition. It demonstrates the importance of protecting cultural heritage. Across the world, many historical sites have been lost to war, neglect, pollution, natural disasters, and uncontrolled development. Every time humanity loses a piece of its history, we lose part of our collective identity. Borobudur survived because generations understood its value. Communities protected it. Archaeologists restored it. Conservationists continue preserving it. Governments and international organizations work together to ensure that future generations can experience its magnificence. This responsibility extends beyond one monument. It applies to languages, traditional music, local cuisine, ancient customs, historic architecture, natural ecosystems. All of these treasures deserve protection because they tell the story of who we are. Magelang reminds us that progress should never require forgetting our roots. Instead, the strongest societies are those that build the future while honouring the wisdom of the past. This philosophy is becoming increasingly important in the 21st century. Technology continues transforming the way we communicate, learn, travel, and work. Artificial intelligence reshapes industries. Digital platforms connect billions of people instantly. Scientific discoveries continue expanding human possibilities. These advancements are extraordinary, yet they also raise an important question. As the world changes faster than ever before, how do we preserve the qualities that make us human? Magelang offers one possible answer. Stay connected to your community, respect your history, protect nature, invest in education, value discipline, practice kindness, celebrate diversity, preserve beauty. These principles never become outdated. If anything, they become even more valuable as society becomes increasingly complex. Perhaps this explains why visitors often describe Magelang as peaceful rather than merely beautiful. Beauty can impress us. Peace transforms us. Beauty captures our attention. Peace captures our hearts. That transformation cannot be measured by photographs, social media posts, or travel statistics. It happens quietly. Sometimes we do not even realize it until long after we have returned home. Weeks later, we remember the sound of morning birdsong. Months later, we remember the warmth of conversations with local residents. Years later, we still remember watching sunlight illuminate Borobudur while distant volcanoes stood silently against the horizon. Those memories become part of us. They influence how we see the world. They remind us that extraordinary experiences often emerge from places that remain humble. Perhaps the greatest lesson Magelang offers is this: a destination does not need to be the biggest city. It does not need the tallest buildings. It does not need endless luxury. It does not need constant publicity. What truly matters is authenticity. A place that remains true to itself possesses a kind of beauty that never fades. Magelang has achieved exactly that. It continues moving forward without abandoning its identity. It welcomes the future without rejecting its past. It opens its doors to the world while remaining deeply rooted in the traditions that shaped it. That balance is rare, and it is precisely what makes this remarkable city unforgettable. So the next time someone mentions Indonesia, perhaps your thoughts will travel beyond the famous beaches and bustling metropolitan centres. Perhaps you will remember a peaceful valley embraced by majestic volcanoes, a city where ancient wisdom meets modern ambition, a place where history is carved into stone, where flowers brighten every season, where discipline builds future leaders, and where kindness remains one of the community's greatest strengths.